Hey YouTube, how are we all doing? Lego Leprechaun here again, guys, and today we're returning with a small little bit of city progress. But before we get started, as always, I want to thank everybody for positive comments, thumbs up, subscriptions, guys. Very, very much appreciated, and some nice suggestions as well in some of the comments. So again, thank you very much. So let's get started. So the last time we touched base here, guys, we were just showing that kind of broken road running in along there to the impound area, and just, we'd say, talking about the plans and what I'm going to do. And then we gave a small bit of a tutorial on the bending road and how to bend. So I haven't, what I would say, completed this yet, but I have it in place, and then there's just a few little tweaks to make it smoother. So here we are, guys. Here's our bending road. Okay, it's not very high there in the middle, because any higher I was going to go in the middle, I started putting pressure on the area here where it started really lifting everything, including the plates, the base plates. So we kept it kind of a mild bend, and plus I wanted to just go down nicely underneath that. I mean, that's still stiff there, like, you know, and if I push there, it pushed pressure on here and starts bringing it up. So that height is fine, as we'll have a little bit of water there maybe just underneath it and running back in here. Now I'll talk a little bit about here in a minute, and I'm going to ask you for some suggestions on this area. Before we go there, just to show you the completion, I showed you how to bend the road the last time, guys. We brought it up and you literally put a piece in here. It's just a made up small bracket, so it just keeps a bit of height here on the middle. So we were on about using the 2s here, the 1x2s, and again like that, because they're small, it bends easy. The same down here where I had to push it in. I'm not too worried about there, because I'll just be kind of continuing that road where it goes out of your eye's way eventually, because we'll have a rock, kind of a bridge around here. But then I didn't want a pathway either here to follow up along the bridge, because you're fattening it on both sides, and the water area I wanted to be seen kind of some way underneath the bridge anyway. Plus this little area here that I've got all the way down the table, going to try, and it's only mean try now, to put maybe a train in here. But if I do a train as well, it also has to bend a small bit in line with the road if I have the water coming all the way out. If I don't, and we have the water here, the train doesn't really have to go up in a bend, but then you're not going to see much water either, so we have to think about that. Putting the walls on here, then that's what I came up with, instead of using the path, and again a modified plate, sticking it in. We came up to the top here and we had to use the 1x1s, because that's all I had. I got 1x2s. There's only one of them here that I found after, but you're literally talking about that. And you stick it into your 2s that are running this way on the actual road, and just put up 2 high is all I did on that, and that gave me my bend effect. Now as you can see, we have a bit of gapping, guys, here, and that's just going to happen because I actually pushed it up like it is there. When you look right down at it, you can see the gaps in between it, but they're minimum. And when you come back here and you kind of look at it that way, it looks like one complete wall. So I'm kind of happy on how that turned out, lads, because again, it's just, I told you before when I was actually building, like, it's kind of spontaneous, you know. I just came to that and thought, right, I want to kind of run a wall there. What do we do to make this fit in? And played with it, literally played with it, you know. It still has to be tightened in, and we'd say a few tweaks. We'll use some tiles running up here just to get that smooth edge look. Obviously there'll be 1x2s on that, and then we can just, we can use 1x8s going running down there. So we just brought a pat out here just to kind of give you an example of where it's going to finish. I brought a small pedestrian crossing across here, so we can cross that. We have a wall on this side, guys, because that's not supposed to be entered. It's the main road for the main police and fire station stuff, emergency. In here then we have our tiles running along here for a pathway, and then as you can see here we have a little arch of water, and that's to show that the water here in this area will be running right underneath the whole city, through the square, out of Arkham, and eventually down into a kind of well, Gotham Harbour, but that's miles off. So that's kind of so far. And what we had done as well is we had tiled the rest of our mills plates that I had built there a few weeks back. So I have an order in, guys, for some more grey 1x8s, because I want to finish these roads, and that means that they're running that way and they're going to be running along the top here. Again, you know, they're expensive enough. You have to save up and get them, but once I have them, that means a lot of the road work will be coming near completion, but it takes time, and these roads absorb an awful lot of grey. I can't say it. Excuse me. So yeah, so again, like that, a lot of grey work to go into those roads, and then we're talking about the tiles for the paths, and for the future area over here, what we're going to be doing, there's a ton of grey work. Grey brick is what I need for grey work, you know. So coming here, guys, on this area, the brain is burning a small bit. I know I'm going to have something watery here and a bit of green, and then we're going to have a kind of a rock wall here, obviously hiding this to up to the next level area. So I don't know what I'm going to do. I honestly, like, again, like that, you'd flow. I had a few weeks of flowing at the road, along to the buildings, along here, and as we move, we're in this area, and I know I want some kind of water here. We're going to have some rock work obviously coming down this area here, because the Wayne Manor Drive is coming out down here and down at an angle. We'll have rock falling off the face of that with an arch here, and if there's a train going to go in, we'll have another arch here. Rock will come down, so I'm just in so many minds here. Like, I was going to catch that cabin, I was going to put it over here with trees around it, and kind of put a small haunted scene around that, but then to me it just mightn't blend with the seriousness here of the city, with the fire brigade station and the garage and stuff like that. And then I was going to put, and this is still what's leading in my head, there's probably some kind of a little nature walk where you can go in among trees and greens, and the rock work that'll be here, we'll have some kind of water feature coming out, like a waterfall. We can have a few rock climbers and a kind of stone pack coming in with a lovely pool of water here running that way, and just coming out pooling underneath the bridge area here. I think that's probably what I'm kind of going to go with. Then there's another option, one more. I'm going to put some kind of a castle here on the top of this corner here, okay? So I'll talk about that more when the roads begin to come up here, because I'm going to show you what I'm going to do on the back at those mills plates. But we're going to have a kind of a castle effect here, a kind of a round tower, or maybe a square one. And then I was thinking, and as my girlfriend had mentioned this to me, about putting maybe the castle here, you know, in the middle with the water surrounding it, and then we can have the trees and stuff and the rock coming out the sides and the rock at the back. So there's a few different options, guys. So number one, just make it a kind of a nature area, walk, water, bit of rock climbing, and the rock work will be up here and come up a little higher here, obviously because we're coming down from the manor. Two, we can put a castle in here, with the water around that, and I can still put a round tower castle there and a square castle here. Again, another ton of grey work and grey rock, so that'll be it, you know, that'll be down the line, obviously, like, you know. And three, you could have the broken down cabin in there with the trees, and that's a horror scene, like, because if you look at that closely, like I showed in the video last Halloween or whatever, like, that's just the Grim Reaper down there and all the kind of haunted figures you'd see in films, where they're just gutting people, like, you know. So I love that, and I love the whole element of the Halloween thing, but I have another haunted house, as you know, down here, and that's going to be moving to the left hand side of the the left hand side of Arkham, on some kind of rock. So that's one haunted house. Probably that'll be the last option I'd be going with, to bring a haunted house in here. Now, I was only thinking of it just simply because of the wood look of the cabin itself and the trees. It would look nice there with a bit of water around it, but I just don't think it would suit what's literally, you know, 2 foot away with a road, and you got your seriousness of the fire brigade and the police station impound here at the back, and the actual the garage, you know. So yeah, so let me know what you think, guys, you know, throw it in the comments, or if you think of anything else outside of that, you know. I know it's going to come to the point of where I'm going to be putting rock work. I won't be putting wall work. I like the wall that you see there in the impound. I know I could bring that all the way along there, but that to me then is a bit too man-made of a concrete city. I wanted to go in here to this kind of country area where we're going to have natural rock, a bit of greenery and lovely water in here, black canal water, and then we're going to have it coming out of here somewhere with a waterfall. And up here then will be the area where I'm going to have a few mountain peaks, some water in there, and then we can bring in maybe the fun element, like, you know, the Winnie the Pooh set or whatever. You could put that there. What's the other one? I have it here. The medieval blacksmith. So we can put that in there among the mountains and stuff like that, and a small bit of water to show that the water is going to come through out here, out of this fall. And also the water is going to come down a small slip at the back, because I have a small hole here in the cave that I want some water coming out and splashing to the bottom. And I'm sorry, I know it's dark in here, lads, but just giving you a quick look. So I want the water in here. I want the water to come out here, which means you'll have to have some kind of pond up here that it actually comes out and flows down. So, excuse me, so that's it really in a nutshell. As always, lads, 15 minutes later. But yeah, so I'm just looking for some suggestions off you guys in this case to see what you think and what could fit in there. So while I'm waiting on what we'd say I'm going to decide on that, I did order and I saved up the points for this. It was great, guys, on the lego.com. I didn't redeem my VIP points for probably over a year or whatever since I was buying stuff. So I managed to get my hands on Diagon Alley and pay nothing for it, which is great. I had 60,000 points, but that took a long time now to build up, and that's on lego.com. So just in case, guys, actually any of you don't know that, if you're watching my video and you're thinking, how do you do that or how do you get it, just sign yourself up for VIP on lego.com, and straight away for anything you buy you get points off. And if you buy a lot over time, or just buy over time normal and just keep the points saving up or whatever, then you can redeem them and you can actually get a set or money off a set. So that's what I did there. So yeah, so getting back to it, Diagon Alley's coming, guys, and we're going to put it down the back here. So I'm going to come away from that area for a while now. As you can see from the road over there, it's looking kind of, you know, some way attractive. So I'm going to leave it lie until I, you know, get a brainwave and see what I'm going to put in there. I'll get some suggestions off you guys, and I'm going to actually tackle this area here, put in Diagon Alley, and do a small bit of rock work at this side just around there so I can cover up the gaps and stuff underneath the houses. So that's it, guys, that's all wrapped up there. Again, thanks for everything. Excuse me, thanks for everything we'd say regarding the likes, the shares, the comments, the suggestions, and the subscriptions, guys. Very, very much appreciated. So till the next video, guys, Lego Leprechaun out.